Well, we're now just heading into Fort McMurray right now. We just went past the Welcome to Fort McMurray sign and the airport road where we'd been standing doing live hits here immediately after the fire came through, coming around the corner right now, and just past the oil sands discovery park. And you can see right now right up to this these ATCO trailers. You can see how the fire has come right up to these sorts of areas now. You won't be able to see it, but just on the other side of the road, there was we've shown you pictures in the past about some of the. It's gone there, Paul. You don't have to worry too much about that. But there was some an industrial area. We'd been showing you that in the days past, and the fire coming towards that. Well, the fire did burn right up to it, but it appears that that industrial area is intact. The hotel that was originally under an evacuation order in the early days here. Driving past that one does, the Sawridge does appear to be just fine as well. But now we're just really coming into the southern part of the town right now. This is, in the next few minutes, we should start to be seeing a lot more of the community. We'll come around a corner down a hill and see some more then. Now we're coming into some of the areas where you can see a fair bit more destruction right here, right through the trees, and behind them you can see a number of out structures, it appears like, that have been destroyed. And this is that trailer park, the Centennial Trailer Park that was originally evacuated as a precaution. You can see that it appears to be almost completely destroyed. There's a few that are remaining there. Yeah, you can see a lot more of that destruction right there. Very, very little left from the trailer park. One or two trailers that still seem to be remaining, but that's about it. Right here, we had some of that video on the Tuesday of it burning. This is the Super 8. So yeah, this was totaled on Tuesday. We saw that though, the images of it burning, and the last images that we'd shown you from our cameras appeared that it would be about half gone. Now you can see it's just completely destroyed, burnt to the ground. And then just right next to it, we have a Burger King and the Shell station that had been closed for this whole time. Green grass around them, standing just fine.
No worries. Thanks, Marshall. So this is Beacon Hill up here. This is the one that was 80% destroyed.
Now we're turning into Beacon Hill. This is the one that the province says has been 70% destruction right now.
That area already looked like that.
just look at it now. I mean, it's just one of these. It has been totally devastated.
These trees here only got 5 minutes of going down to about 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Darby Allen. I'm the Regional Fire Chief, Director of Emergency Management. Thank you for taking the time to come and see us today. We know it's been a while and you've wanted this for a while, so we wanted you to come in and have a look around our community. We're in a place called Beacon Hill right now. Unfortunately, not that much left of it. It's pretty well destroyed. This was one of the first areas that was hit by the fire, which would have come from this direction across the highway. At those stages we were depleted by manpower, we were depleted by water shortage, and we made a decision early to retreat and start fighting where we could fight the fight. As you drive around today, you will come across the odd area like this, but you'll also come across massive areas of this city that have been unharmed, and that is due solely to the incredible efforts of the emergency services personnel that were here initially. They did incredible work. I'm estimating right now that there's at least 85% of homes, structures, businesses that are still perfectly intact. We have to evaluate that fully yet. The road we're on right now is approximately 15 to 20 feet wide. It jumped that without even thinking about it. It jumped the Athabasca River, which is 120 feet wide. So this was a beast, it was an animal, it was like a fire I've never seen in my life. So we're going to move on now. We can drive, and I'll keep doing this as often as I can, and anybody's got any questions, I can do that, and we'll move on to, I think we believe we're going to drive downtown now. This is the way the fire came into town. When we get back on the highway, we're going to go down into the downtown area. Significant stops were made on the 4th or 5th day to ensure that our downtown infrastructure was not impacted, and that remains intact. We are proud of everybody who worked on this fire, and we are proud, and we want to let our citizens know that home is still here, and as soon as we can get you back, we will. Thank you.
Abasand. Right on. It looks like it's still there last I saw. Thank you.
now just about to go down into the valley, into the Fort McMurray. You can see out this window, this was another neighborhood where we saw a lot of flames going over top of, but the homes that we could see apparently look all right there. I don't know, Paul, if you can get to look at the other side of the bus. It's a little tough right now as we're moving. Sorry, Paul. But you can see the fire, how it tore through some of the valley. This was the scenic lookout. I'm not sure how much you can see of this right now, but this was the scenic lookout that a lot of people came to see as they sort of rounded the corner and looked out over it. A lot of burnt out vegetation, a lot of burnt out grass over there. But from, at least from this vantage point, not a lot of homes that have been lost on that side that you can see from here, at least.
So you can see on the right hand side the way the fire spread down through the river valley. As the bus moves forward, the downtown areas in front of you and to the left, you will see that is pretty well untouched. As we go around this bend to the right hand side, if you look out the right hand side, you'll see called Ptarmigan Trailer Park. Ptarmigan Trailer Park was completely decimated by fire.
You don't recognize that voice that you're hearing. That's Darby Allen. He's the fire chief for the regional municipality of Wood Buffalo. He's leading this tour right now, so try to get as much as we can from him to be broadcast out as well.
Landmark for those people from the community that listen is the British Legion. Royal British Legion is still standing. The trailer park on the right hand side that has gone was also affected by the floods in 2013. They just about rebuilt that, and now unfortunately it's not there. There's a row right at the end there that you see that are untouched by fire. The left hand side is Fire Hall 1. Fire Hall 1 was staffed 24/7 by RAS personnel and provincial staff. They actually fought a fire on day 3 and had to put sprinklers up to stop this building burning down, but they managed to save the fire hall. You can see the damage on the other side of the highway through the wildland where the fire came through.
This is downtown that we're entering, essentially. This area is basically going into downtown. That side, a lot of what is burning, you see over there is water waste. So this is the far north angle of downtown. And this was all affected by the flooding that happened. And this was closed for quite a while by the flooding. A lot of big hotels.
We're now in the north end of downtown, and this is a nice sight to see, I'm sure, for everybody from Fort McMurray and all around the province and the country for that matter as well. A lot of homes through here.
As we go down here, down King Street, we're going to turn a left down Franklin, which is the main thoroughfare through downtown. You'll see that area is unaffected. As you look straight ahead of you, you'll see a bank on the other side of the river. The fire came down to the bottom corner of that bank, and a significant fire operation took place there over a period of about 12 hours. The fire was stopped there. If that fire had got down into the downtown, we would have lost the downtown area.
I saw me come and visit when it's a little bit cleaner here. I'm just telling you. Toronto, folks. Oh, at least my mucho burrito's here. All right. So get a strip club, we're fine. Oh man, it's weird because it's fine.
Here you can see the hospital. A lot of concern right over in the initial time here. I don't know if you can see it from here, but across the highway you can see just how much was burnt. A lot of concern about that hospital. It was evacuated on that Tuesday as well. A lot of patients taken away from there. A lot of concern about what would happen to that hospital. You can see it's doing quite well now. In fact, Fire Chief was talking about this a while ago, just saying there's a great deal, you may have heard that, may have not, there's a great deal of effort in one particular spot just trying to keep the fire from moving. They managed to do that. It was over 12 hours they battled that blaze, and if they hadn't won that fight, he said quite likely this entire area, including the hospital and all the main landmark buildings in the community, might have very well gone up in flames.
So as we turn up this road, this is Hospital Street, obviously, because there's the hospital on the left-hand side. We evacuated 600 patients out of the hospital. 62 were critical care. They were either bused or flown out of here, and the rest were driven out with buses. You can see straight ahead where the fire was coming over that hill. We made a significant hole at the top of that hill. I don't know if you'll see it when you get there, but there are 2 or 3 structures just to the right of this intersection at the top that we lost. But we managed to hold that fire and protect the rest of downtown and the hospital.
Right here where you're seeing right now, I don't know how many of you guys were watching on the Tuesday. That burnt out field there is where I was standing watching the traffic going out of town. Saw this come up, the fire come up over this hill and start to come down right there. So clearly I guess I got out in a good time.
One of the guys just up there, his house is in here, and it's now a basement. And my house is actually, if you turn right up here, and go 4 blocks, and from the looks of it, fairly untouched. I won't be seeing it tonight. I don't think they're going to go that far down. They'll stop us up at the gas station area or something like that.
and you'll see structures that are perfectly intact. On the right hand side there we took a significant hit over here, and this act. On the right hand side there we took a significant hit over here, and this whole half of this area is been decimated by this beast that came through our town.
And this is Abasand?
Start wherever you want to stop.
Okay, we can pull over right here. Actually, just keep going.
I mean, if we're going to be restricted to the length of the bus, this is not a good place to pull over because all we can shoot at the fence.
Sorry, Darby, they're asking for a different location.
Yeah,
maybe a better location.
So,
We haven't got time.
if our movements are very restricted, we should at least stop where there's something visual.
Okay, well, what about?
Just suggesting it.
We can let them go over to the edge of that fence if they want to go.
Okay, you alright with that?
We stop it.
Is there any choices for people looking? I'm too shaky.
We're now in the area of Abasand, another of the hardest hit neighborhoods here in Fort McMurray, and we're told that this is a townhome, though the fire chief, Darby Allen, says not even he.
We continue to see some of these emerging images out of Fort McMurray today. This is a community called Abasand. This is an apartment complex right here that is burned to the ground. This is an area that had about 50% destruction, and we've seen a fair bit of that this morning. But this is something that's important to note as well. Just look over this way as well. That's a school just across the street. This whole area has sort of been, you have seen this, where you've seen a great deal of destruction followed by some areas that have just been untouched. We just got through downtown as well. That has been completely untouched, and the fire chief told us how that happened. There was a fire that had crossed the highway, and they battled that blaze in one spot for about 12 hours and kept it back. Essentially what he says, saving the downtown. If it wasn't for that, that fire would have probably got into the valley, destroyed the entire downtown. So we're seeing a lot of images today of destruction and pain and sorrow, but also hearing some stories about a great deal of work to go to save what is left of this community, which thankfully is a great deal.
Support. Obviously, a difficult time for the community. We thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Now that we're through that second stop, as we discussed at the beginning, we're going to go right back to the Regional Emergency Operations Center. So we're going to head due south once we get out of the Abasand neighborhood and on to the news conference. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just have a minute of your time, the to be quite a lot of cameras. And I just want to send a message to the people of Fort McMurray. You know, you might be seeing images today of the area you lived, and indeed you may be seeing images of where your home was. I just want everyone to know that there were hundreds of people, emergency services staff, that gave their all. I do truly believe we couldn't have done any more. This was a horrible fire. Whatever we tried to do, it went a different way and it found some more fuel. So we did our very best. The good news is, you may not have seen, but there are many, many images of areas that are untouched. Fort McMurray's still alive. We're here. We're ready for the future. And when we get you back, we can build the future together. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. this side is Gregoire.
Yes.
Just check and see the feed. Check the feed. Check the numbers on the feed.
Yes, homes, structures, businesses,
Just check that trailer park feed over. Oh, yeah, sure.
yes. Which is in Fort Mac, and he said that was an initial thing.
This is Highway 63. Yep.
Yeah. It's on my phone though. Like I've been taking notes on my phone, so I'll have to. Let me just copy and paste it into a message to you. Okay. Right.
I'll call to double check it in before the news conference that we're heading to right now. So. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye. It's all good. Good. Tourism sector.
It's the Oil Sands Discovery Center. If you ever want to come on up and find out how the oil sands taken out. Nope, it's fine. It's right there. There's so much fuel around here that if it would have jumped Gregoire, the industrial fuel gas stops are up in here. Okay. Yeah. See a touch right there. We're so lucky. So where are they keeping you then? Marianne Lakes. Treating you all right out there? Oh yeah. These camps have been amazing. Amazing.
Best part about any camp.
Yeah. The non-stop food. I forgot how good butterscotch pudding was.
Those first couple of days of not eating any. Where you staying?
I'm in Edmonton. Yeah, I just drove up. We didn't. All of our email server is down. We missed a bunch of emails, and we've got word of this at 9 o'clock. So they said, you know, I'm not a reporter. They just said, hey, you're here. Go. I'm the program director of the radio station. So, yeah, he sent me out there. So this is the airport. 69. This is regional municipalities, public works area. Who's your name? Andrew. Steve. Steve, nice to meet you.
Thanks for the narration. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's really helping us out with context. Just saying, well, this was good content.
Abasand, and I do still live there, from what I'm told. Just as dark. He said it should be good. There's a guy who wants to up there.
What's this?
Okay, everybody, we're just going to turn into the Fire Hall 5, the Regional Emergency Operations Center. You're going to have some time to set up here as we head into the press conference. Approximate start time will be now 3:30 p.m. with an attempt to wrap by 4 p.m. at the latest. Within that, we will hope to still have some time for question and answer with our speakers. Thank you.